Restoring Illinois to greatness. This is Illinois Rising, presented by the Illinois Opportunity Project and hosted by AM 560's Dan Proft.
Dan back with Pat on this edition of Rising, and this really interesting video that was unearthed and posted at Breitbart this week. The Google power structure, Napoleon Dynamite and his brother Kip, also known as the Google founders, Sergey Brin and Larry Page, hosting a post-2016 election summit with the entire senior leadership team of the most powerful company in the world, and their reaction to what happened, and then what they said about what they were going to do going forward, has incredible political implications, both at the federal level, but also at the individual state levels when it comes to congressional races and down to state legislative races and local races, because Google is such a powerful provider of information. And are they being honest, abiding their terms of use with consumers? This is an issue that's being discussed at the federal level now. This is why you've had Mark Zuckerberg before congressional committees, Sheryl Sandberg, the COO of Facebook, before congressional committees, Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, before congressional committees. Google has declined to participate, but they may not be able to get away with that for very much longer, at least in terms of a honest reckoning. I'm not talking about regulation here. I'm not talking about Justice Department antitrust prosecutions. I'm generally opposed to that, even when it comes to people with whom I disagree. Google, they built an incredible company, but there is this reckoning, this transparency that should at least be raised as a question when it comes to continuing consumer loyalty to Google. Here's Sergey Brin, one of the billionaire co-founders of Google, again, within a few days of the 2016 election, addressing the assembled employees of One Google.
Okay, folks, I know this is probably not the most joyous TGIF we have had. Let's face it, most people here are pretty upset and pretty sad because of the election. But there's another group, small group, that we should also think about, who are very excited about the legalization of pot.
There you go, priorities. CFO Ruth Porat talking about election night and hearing from her friend on the Hillary Clinton campaign.
As we started to see the direction of the voting, I reached out to someone close to me who was at the Javits Center where the big celebration was supposed to occur in New York City, somebody who'd been working on the campaign. And I just sent him a note and said, are you okay? It looks like it's going the wrong way. And I got back a very sad, short text that read, "People are leaving, staff is crying, we're going to lose." That was the first moment I really felt like we were going to lose. And it was this massive, kick in the gut that we were going to lose. And it was really painful.
The COO of the most powerful company on the planet.
That is so embarrassing. And it just goes to show that to be fabulously wealthy and to be fabulously powerful and to build an unbelievable company or whatever, you don't have to be a fully formed adult, right? You don't have to be a fully grown human being, because that is what a child sounds like. Look, the Republic has existed through elections time and again. You win some, you lose some, you come back, you try again. But all of this, wailing in front of the whole company is just embarrassing.
How important their virtue signaling is to them, these Google values they talk about all the time without defining, the make the world a better place rap that is so properly caricatured by Silicon Valley. It's eerie, frankly. And you want to talk about fully formed adults, again, people may be very smart in this space, smart enough to wire up the kind of content that they'll push out or prioritize, the shadow banning that goes on at Twitter, and the effort to channel information via Google. These are legitimate issues to talk about in the context of campaign meddling, if you will, at least the need for honesty when it comes to that. And you want to talk about fully formed human beings. Listen to when it came time for Q&A time from the Googleists in the audience. You ready for this guy?
Speaking to white men, there's an opportunity for you right now to understand your privilege in the society. Take the opportunity to go through the bias-busting training, read about privilege, read about the real history of oppression in our country, and tomorrow night, watch 13th, the movie that is here. If you can't watch it here, watch it on Netflix. Discuss the issues you are passionate about during Thanksgiving dinner, and don't back down and laugh it off when you hear the voice of oppression speak through metaphors, and I promise to do this.
That received rousing from everybody there, the assembled senior leadership team, the founders of Google, obviously the audience. Everybody was clapping at that statement. Hey, Grandma, you could pass those cranberries all you want, but I know that's metaphor for white male oppression or whatever the hell. I mean, they take that perspective and they use it, as the tip of the spear to exert influence where they can. Don't think they don't, because they essentially disclose that they're going to at this post-2016 campaign summit at Google.
Yeah, that sounds like a meeting taking place in a foreign language like Chinese or Russian, Dan. That's what that sounds like to me.
And I'll tell you what, that guy, James Damore, that Google engineer that was subsequently fired after this meeting several months later for the memo that he wrote about the culture at Google, golly, apparently he was onto something.